My life is sinking all the way down, right through the floor. Oh, jeez. That Wild Bill, he's got this new song, it's in my head. That's unfair. All he does is pay rent. I'm the one that's creative around here. But now that song is like, all the way down. Anyway, today I want to do episode 13, and your fighting arts is wrong. Today's episode is Your Superman is Wrong. Let's try a few Superman stunts and see how they hold up to the harsh light of Eshkalar's, whatever it is, intelligence, purse capacity, uh, 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 erudite genius, whatever. Him asking questions and stuff. So here it is. First off, let's get Superman in the room here. Hi, Supes. Yeah, hi, Eshkalar. I'd like to ask you a favor. Everybody does, Eshkalar. I'm never done doing favors. I'll never be done doing favors. Don't get me started about favors. Okay, Superman. All right, all right, all right. I'm not your psychiatrist. I'm not your bartender. I'm your interviewer. And you have to be nice to me, or else I'll give you a bad spin for the millennials out there who don't know what to make of you yet. So here it is. I want you to make me a diamond. Well, Eshkalar, I can't. Don't tell me you can't. You're Superman. Yes, I am Superman, Eshkalar. But I can't make a diamond. Not here, not now, not in front of you. All right, you're going to have to explain this to me because I'm going to have to explain it to other people. Maybe one or two people will watch this. And they're going to want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Why can't you make a diamond, Superman? Well, the pressures and temperatures are one thing. No. We know. You take lots of pressure and you squeeze it in your hand and you make a diamond. Eshkalar, there's so much more involved, including the curing process, which can be 50,000 years long. I just hear blah, 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 blah. Make a diamond for me. Okay, let me show it to you in a clear way, Eshkalar. If I make a diamond right now, if I apply that much pressure to a bit of carbon in my hands, and I squeeze really hard, and I make an incredible amount of pressure and heat, enough that under other circumstances I might create a diamond. Yeah, go on. It would seem like an explosion to you. The released heat, the wasted heat of all that pressure would create a shock wave, an outward running shock wave of superheated air that would blast out from my hands, incinerate all the people in the room, blast these walls away, just as if a huge bomb had gone off. No, that's not how that works. You go, here you go, Lois. No, I don't. If I did that, I would kill Lois. And while she's hot, she's not worth killing. Not yet, anyway. Okay. I don't think we want to follow that line of reasoning, but I really want to ask you, so when you do this, it creates this huge pulse of heat, right? Yes, that's right. And a super hot pressure wave, like an explosion. Yes, that's correct, Eshkalar. And it kills everybody in the radius and blows down the building you're standing in. It's a good recapitulation. So, Superman can't create a diamond. That's what I told you, Eshkalar. Okay, that's one Superman myth, totally busted. If he tried to make a diamond, he would destroy everybody he loves. Here, Lois, let me make you a diamond. Or Lois. Oh, look, there's nothing but smoke and shoes everywhere. All right. Great Caesar's ghost. I'd say Great Caesar's salad, pizza. So anyway. So what else we got? You could rescue the people from that sinking cruise ship. No, I can't, Eshkalar. We'll have to wait for the Coast Guard. What? I read in the comics, so it must be true. I saw it on television, so it must be true. I saw it in the movies. So like many things that are obviously not true, it must be true. It's counterintuitive, but it must be true. Because Hollywood says so. Right? Hollywood says Alec Baldwin has no responsibility in the death of someone that he was pointing a pistol at when he pulled the trigger. That firearm safety meant nothing to him. That firearm safety, which is a law, meant nothing to him. That the simplest thing that anyone that knows how to handle a firearm does is not point it at anyone until the moment you're supposed to. You don't just wave at someone and pull the trigger. Ha ha ha. That is, it's impossible to describe that anything else as anything else then with criminal intent. Entitled people, they often think they're above the law. Let's see if that happens. It almost happened with OJ. Let's see what happens with Alec. And I got nothing against either man. I didn't steal any of their football memorabilia, so they don't have to rough me up. And I didn't watch any of his movies, so you can't get mad at me for critiquing them honestly. Oh. Truth squirts, don't it, Annie Sprinkles? It sure does. So anyway, here we go with Superman. He can't make a diamond, and he just told me he can't lift up that cruise ship and carry it back to Gotham, Metropolis, Moscow, New York, Beijing, whatever harbor that, wherever he's close to. Okay, how about that? Because I can't tell what city they all live in. They call it different things. They don't even notice each other when they must be flying by each other 80 times a day. Metropolis, Gotham City. Come on now, they're the same place. They're New York City. Where else could they be? Tokyo? Batman forever. Yeah, it is Tokyo. How about that? Boy, you can regionalize anything if you try hard enough. Mm-hmm. Well, except racism. Oh, there are jokes to be made. Punchline overload. Oh, Norman coordinate. Beep. I know. So here's Superman's second problem, is trying to rescue these people on a cruise ship. Doesn't have to pick them up. He's going to jump down in the water, come up to the bottom of the cruise ship, and push. And nothing's going to happen. Well, what if he pushes hard enough to lift up that 40,000-ton cruise ship? Well, then, the force of lifting 40,000 tons of lift force, 20,000 tons on this hand, 20,000 tons on his hand. The steel that ship is made out of is not made to take that kind of stress in that small an area. You put it in dry dock, you put it on all kinds of supports, because if you tried to put it on just two hands like this, it'd just crush. That's right, Superman's hand's going to go right through the metal. He's going to go right through that ship, right out the top, and he's going to leave a geyser behind him. So he can't pick up that cruise ship. There's no way he can pick it up. And if it's already wounded and foundering, it's got a hole in it, underwater likely, because you sink a ship by letting in water, not letting in air. Ask any submariner. Oh, you people. I know. Atlantis, not you. So anyway, he can't pick up the ship because the structural strength of steel is not such that a lifting force concentrated in two human hands this way, worth 40,000 pounds, could be resisted. Steel can't do that. You don't have steel on the bottom of a cruise ship that can resist that. You go right through it. Sink the ship. So your alternative now is pushing it, but there's a hole in it. You'll scoop more water in it. It'll want to drown everybody again. It's going to go nose down or tail down and, want to back into the ocean. Beep, blah, blah, beep, blah, blah, beep, or something. And so he can't tow the ship at any speed, certainly. And he can't push the ship at any speed, certainly. And he can't save the people by rushing them at supersonic speeds back to the city two at a time, can he? No, because he'll kill him. If you're rushing people back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like Pietro does in the Avengers, you kill them. You kill them. People can't take more than about 60 miles an hour through their face. Ask motorcyclists. They wear these shields. Now, they don't all, but many of them wear shields. The professionals wear shields. The amateurs, what are you going to say? They're amateurs. You can talk all the trash you want, but you're just an amateur. It's a true story. I'm not kidding. Amateurs can have a lot of experience. There are all kinds of amateur drivers out there who think that they're speed racer, but they're not professionals, and so they're not. Speed Racer was a professional driver, trained by Pops Racer, his dad, dating Trixie Racer, his sister, and with friends Spritle and Chim Chim, the twins. Anyway, getting back to it. So I think that Superman couldn't pick up the cruise ship, and he couldn't grab the people two at a time and race them at supersonic speed back to the town, right? 100 miles away, 800 people. I don't think so. The logistics of the situation render it impossible, even for a Superman, without killing the people he's trying to save. So Superman can't make a diamond, kill everybody in the area. And he can't save a cruise ship. or the people from it. He's not the weapon for that job. As a matter of fact, it isn't a weapon that is required for that job. Instead, it's rescue apparatus. Superman's not rescue apparatus of any kind. Really, none. I mean, he can stop Titanoboa from eating you, if he's there first. But he's certainly not going to bring you back to life if Titanoboa gets you just before he gets there, because he was too busy doing favors for people. See how that works? Yeah. While he's doing favors for this guy, that guy dies. While he's doing favors for this guy, those people die. While he's solving hunger in one little spot in Ethiopia, golly, all the Kalahari is dying. So what are you going to do, Soups? Feel guilty all the time. What does that level of guilt do for super intelligent, hyper-aware being? I'm not going to ask the obvious question. I'm not going to ask it. If you can't ask yourselves what that question leads you to, it's okay. You're not ready for it yet. So, back to Superman. So let's say he wants to stop this asteroid from hitting Earth. That's another thing he does. He can't make the diamond. He can't rescue the cruise ship. But at least he can stop the asteroid. Pow! Go right through it. Barely leave a mark. That's right. Just like a high-energy kinetic penetrator from a tank gun. It hit an asteroid and go right through it, and barely impart any kinetic energy to that asteroid. Just go right through it, because the material is not strong enough to resist it, and it takes resistant material to transmit kinetic energy to create the effect you're looking for. Excuse me. So, no going through the asteroid. He's got to shatter it or push it away. What I say about pushing away something that big? He can't. The material won't take it. He'll just bury himself in it and then fall to the earth with it. Or go right through it and it'll still fall to the earth without him. So say we know he can go faster than light. He can go back in time. Oh, wow. I'll address those in a moment. But faster than light. He goes out, he goes back, I'm going to give you that whack. And he turns as much of the energy as he can of his super light speed impact, right? Spreads his hands out and everything, get as much energy as possible, transmit it to the object, maybe push something ahead of him, I don't know, a flat plate or something. But at any rate, when he hits it, let's say he transmits enough energy that the heat creates a detonation, like we talked about before with the diamond stuff. And that causes this dirty snowball, we haven't found one yet, but we're sure they are, to blow apart and rain down on Earth in its various pieces. He won't have enough time to catch them all. And some of those chunks will be big enough he'll have to attack them separately with another light speed pass. And pretty much spend the whole afternoon intercepting the big chunks, and then the small chunks are going to kill a lot of people. And we're going to say, thanks, Superman, we only lost 50 million instead of 1 billion. You're the... Yeah. Why didn't you tell us about it earlier? We would have done something. It's all your fault. Because we like to do what's called transference. Transference is where you know it was your fault, so you start pointing the finger at other people. Oh, and pretty soon everybody starts pointing their finger that way. I saw a video one time of a guy standing in New York City and went like this. And pretty soon there's a dozen people going, and there's nothing up there. I think power suggestion. It works. So, Superman can't rescue a cruise ship. He can't save us from an asteroid. He can't move the Earth out of the way of something like he has in several episodes. He cannot travel back in time because to do so, well, if moving faster than the speed of light would allow you to go back in time, let's create that as a separate universe from what would say it could happen. The amount of energy randomized by his passage through whatever ambient medium, be it air or even interstellar medium, which is fairly rarefied, right? 1 hydrogen nuclei per cubic centimeter or something like that, right? He would still create such a huge shock wave, the equivalent of a mightily magnified bow wave from a supersonic aircraft, hypersonic aircraft, infra, ultra, really, really fast, Google fast guy thing. And it would create such a shock wave, it would destroy planets, stars, anything it touched in the local area, and that means it would wipe out other life. And where is he going to do that? Near Earth. It isn't going to destroy Earth. Nowhere. He'd have to go way far away. which would take time because you've got to leave Earth and go very slow until it gets to the point where going to light speed isn't going to disturb the solar system, because it will. Ah, you might ask some astrophysicists. Planetologists are now starting to work on an idea that the solar system has certain gravitic roots that make it easier to do certain kinds of transferring of bodies from one section of the solar system to another. I'm not conversant with this, but ask a planetologist, ask a cosmologist about these interhighways between different objects in the solar system, between different voids in the solar system, and how they could be used to speed up transit times. But even using that stuff, he would still have to get fairly far out from Earth before he went to light speed without the resultant burst of hard radiation killing people. So, it can take him a long time to do anything he does like that, even to go back in time. So once he gets back in time, he's going to go way back in time and even farther back in time because it'll take him a while to get back to Earth without killing everything when he gets there from light speed and all the heating and all that, right? So it's a careful calculation. We knew he already did it because he rescued Lois from the car that was being buried. He's a man, ain't he? A Superman. Yeah, there's got to be a joke there, but I'm too busy. So if you did go back in time, if you could go back in time just from speed alone, instead of just subjectively holding time, if your tau factor gets high enough, you get close enough to the absolute speed of light, then to other people observing you from lesser frames of reference, your time will seem to have stopped. You'll be going, I'm getting closer to close. I think wait 50,000 years, you would move again. That relative time frame disunity is part of what we call relativistic effects. And there are other relativistic effects that would wipe out all life on Earth if we went to light speed close to it. So, again, Superman can't go faster than light close to Earth. He can't go back in time. Not in any reasonable way that would allow him to come back to Earth, do his work, go back out, go forward in time again. There's some mechanism for that. What they say, you go backwards. They don't explain that mechanism for going backwards in space where all reference are equal. So you're always going forward. Unless you have a specific reference you're going backward to. And when you're talking time travel, there is no specific reference because there is no timeline. Ask temporal scientists. Yeah. See, you should broaden your circle of friends. Buy drinks for some guys outside the physics lab sometime. And listen to them talk about the things that popped in and out of space when they weren't looking. So anyway, I think I'm pretty done. Superman can't save you from an asteroid, can't really usefully go faster than time, or slower than time, whatever it is that you'd call that, right? He cannot do temporal infra travel. Ooh, that was cute. And he can't save you from an asteroid, he can't save a cruise ship, he can't make a diamond. How about that? Yeah. I have other questions to ask about Superman. Those are the cold, hard facts. And I'm not going to talk about the waste heat when he uses heat vision. I'm not going to talk about his method of energy creation, the pathways of nourishment in his body. Like I said, does he have to eat all day long like Goku? You know, which is a nod to Toriyama. Good job, Toriyama. At least you saw some of the problems. So, your Superman is wrong, folks. He couldn't do any of the cool stuff that he's supposed to be able to do. He could talk trash because he was smart. But he couldn't take the infinite amount of subjective time it would take to solve the world's major problems and then still have a meaningful existence on any other level. He'd be working at huge hyperspeed all the time to create cancer vaccines and multiply them, create the machines in which you create more, and he'd be doing that his whole life. He'd be a prisoner. He'd be a slave to the human race. Is that how you want to see your superheroes? Slaves? Because I don't. Slavery's ugly. Nobody should do it. Not even wage slavery. Hey, this is Eshkalar. Your fighting arts is wrong. Your Superman is wrong. And old Eshkalar is the one that straightened you out. Thank me.